What's the evolution of the web? You know, Web 1.0, I was working at Jeppesen back when Web 1.0 came out, and the training guy said, the internet will never happen. It'll never occur, all right? Well, that's not I don't blame him for not believing that it would go, but we just can't predict and see the future. But Web 1.0 was back in the 90s where we had browsers and we moved into things like Facebook, and then Web 2.0 meant that we put in place things like social networks. And now we started having our phone where we could get to Airbnb and get to different things like that. And it became mobile and really cloud-driven computing. And now as we go into Web 3.0, we're talking about, you know, AI-driven things and decentralized applications, and we're talking about different technologies that are, you know, built on the blockchain. Now, just for quick clarification, if you're a blockchain person, you might be on the camp of saying there's no such thing as Web 3. All right, Elon Musk came out and said Web 3 doesn't exist. All right, he said it's just a gradual evolution of one to whatever, you know, is what it is. All right, so if somebody's arguing with you over whether there's a Web 1, 2, and 3, it doesn't matter to me. What we have is we have advancing technology, which is leveraging, you know, decentralized applications on the internet. Okay, so that's really what it is. All right, so let's go on. So next, really, what is blockchain? Just one slide about what is blockchain. Okay, blockchain is really putting applications, or it's accessing data on a distributed ledger, and we're sharing, you know, information across our business network. We're using cryptographic or crypto transactions is what we're doing, and we're doing that within a decentralized architecture. We have different security protocols, which give us, in many cases, advanced security, and when those security protocols aren't followed, we have less security, okay? And it's still a maturing, you know, industry. We have different business rules and validation. We have a concept where when something is published to the blockchain, it's immutable. With my son, we published some things to the blockchain yesterday. I made a mistake. It's there forever. It's never going to go away. It's on the internet, okay? And some of it's private and confidential. And so just the concept, think about it for a minute, is what we're talking about is it's a decentralized distributed data ledger that really uses peer-to-peer consensus or talking to one another, you know, in the exchange of information. And there's other advantages and disadvantages that roll around it, but for the purposes of our discussion, that's what we're talking about today. Okay, I want to bring in one of my guests. This actually was the last guest on my 24-episode series, and he was Horst Trebelmeyer. He's a professor at International Model University in Vienna, and he's really an expert on blockchain. It was such a pleasure to talk with him about these things. And the next slide, I'm going to tell you about the concept that he pointed out, which really rang to me, and I wanted to share that with you. But he put up this little slide, and he said, hey, you know, we have all sorts of different things that are happening today. We have investment or financial world. We have supply chain management that's occurring. We have payments, and we have loyalty programs, and we have NFTs, and we have digital identities, and we have air traffic management. And all those things are high generalized use cases that we're dealing with, you know, today. But the next thing is what he said to me is what really rung, you know, true to me, all right? And he said, all blockchains are not created equal. If you walk in here today and say, crypto, it's not going to go, I don't think it's going to happen, you know, then, and you say blockchain isn't going to work, that's not the message, you know, that exists today. Really, we have crypto, NFTs, and blockchain applications. They're not all created equal. They're on different paths. If you're looking at the financial world and you're looking at cryptocurrency, for example, yes, there's ups and downs. And our world is the US. In other parts of the world, they've spent more time putting regulations in place in order to be able to make it more successful faster in some areas, okay? But our SEC in the United States is spending time right now trying to figure out what the rules and regulations and the guidelines are. And so cryptocurrency has been a bit rocky. I have a question for all of you out there. Help me out with this. Who holds cryptocurrency? Can you help me? Just give me your hand up. Who holds cryptocurrency? I have maybe less than 5% of the people in the room, okay? In the United States, about 19% of the people in the US hold a wallet, hold a digital wallet, and they hold cryptocurrency. They may or may not use it, so there's a smaller fraction of that. Maybe 5% of those people actually use it. And since typically we see aviation, because it's conservative and it's regulated and we have risks we have to manage, we typically see some of those things lagging behind even further. So maybe 1% of the people, you know, in aviation are even involved in blockchain or cryptocurrency or something like that. However, it is moving forward, and I'm going to give you some examples. But here, it's kind of like saying I need information technology, all right? You need IT, you need a computer. Well, what are you going to do with it? Or do you need a phone, or do you need an MRO system, all right? And so you can't just say that we need blockchain because it's way too broad. It's a superset. And each of those things are moving forward on their different path and under different regulations and have different business purposes and application. And so we can't speak of it generically other than it's a term that says that we have aircraft IT. we have digital. All right, that's at the high level that we're dealing with. Well, we have digital, and then we have blockchain, and we have lots of things under that, just like we have lots of other technologies that revolve under that.